Hey, welcome back here on Rudy's World. We're in the Crimson Ghost Mask Room. Yes, my wonderful collection of vintage Halloween masks. Had a little break there for a while. Maybe because I was having a nervous breakdown. You never know. But anyway, we're back. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You have no idea where she just put her freaking head. We're going to talk about... No. Jesus, get. We're going to talk about vintage masks, vintage mask photographs. We're going to get in deep into the old days of some photographs I got here. We're going to talk about masks that were gifted to me by good mask makers and friends. Cool stuff on this video. But at the same time, we're going to kind of talk about life. Yes, life in general. We're going to get a little deep here. So if you're okay with that, then it's going to be a good episode. I hope you'll understand. All right, here we go. Probably thought I gave it all up, didn't you? No, I did not. Happy New Year. This is the first video of the new year, 2024. Holy cow. Those of you that were lucky, well, I'm not even going to say lucky, to catch my Christmas episode, my Christmas special, before I took it down, hopefully you enjoyed it. I did a Christmas episode, and then probably some of you are like, where'd it go? My brother, he watches all my videos, and he goes, that episode sucked. He goes, it was the most boring shit. He goes, nobody wants to hear you talk about Grandma's old Christmas tree. And I'm like, I beg to differ. Some people enjoyed it, Michael. So anyway, I'm like, yeah, I watched it a couple times. I'm like, it's not what I really wanted in a Christmas episode. So I just took it off for now. But anyway, doesn't matter. It was okay. You didn't miss much. But man, here we are. There's been a little lapse in, the time between videos, because what? It's off? God, hold on. My daughter was losing it. She's like, there's no Wi-Fi. The world's gonna end. Boy, oh boy. So, where do I start? Sometimes real life gets in the way, okay? Like all of this, none of this matters in life, Where do I begin? Oh my God, here we go. So, you young guys out there, a lot of young guys come to me for advice, or have come to me for advice over the years. It's kind of weird in a way. Not weird, but good. Like, I enjoy, young people out there, you got life questions, or just want advice on stuff, I'll be happy to talk with you. I've done it on several occasions with younger collectors over the years, and I'm not talking mask advice. I'm talking life. One thing I could tell you right now is enjoy the life you're living right now in your 20s and your 30s when it seems everything is amazing, The older you get, you'll get to a point in life, it's really strange, but you'll get to a point in life where you'll just start noticing, like, everyone's dying, like all these people are dying, and it's, as a kid, you don't notice that. Yeah, you'll see your grandma die or something, or, old people in the family will pass away, you'll go to their funerals, but, the older you get, more and more people that are really close to you, or you've known them for, years and years and years, you just notice, like, man, this is life's changing, So enjoy your time with your friends, and your family especially. If I can give you any advice in the world, don't get consumed by this stuff. This is great. It can bring you happiness, but man, don't neglect people in your life that are important. I'm not saying I did that. I'm just saying I'm going to tell you stuff changes, as you get older. I just lost 2 friends within the past 2 weeks. 2 of my friends died. So that's one reason I'm just coming back here to the channel. It's just not been. New Year's morning, I wake up, look at my, I can barely see, look at my text, my friend's sister, boom, hey, we lost him, so that's how my New Year's starting, but he's in a better place, I could tell you that. Friend was suffering from cancer, younger than me, in his 40s, so if I can give you any advice for this new year, spend more time with your friends and family, because you never know what is going to happen out there. Not trying to start this off as a big bummer video, okay? But that's one reason I'm not here. And I don't, I had to put stuff on Facebook about my friend. I don't like that, and then just getting, I don't do it for the condolences, like, oh, look at me, my friend's gone, everyone feels sorry for me. I do it because so many other people knew him, and I'm like, hey, he's, just so you guys know, I understand people are being nice, but it's like, I just don't like doing it that way. I'm not coming here so my comments get loaded up with stuff like that. That's not me. I don't look for that. So I appreciate anything you want to say, but moving on. So yeah, 2024, not great so far. On top of that, someone very close to me in my life, a parent to me, not my 2 biological parents, but another parent. My parents divorced when I was 1, both remarried. My mom remarried another time after that. So I've got, 3 dads. My mom, my 2 stepmoms. So it's like a lot of parents. But now it's like one of them was given really bad news, so it's like here we think there's going to be a procedure that's going to save this person, and I just found out a few days ago, no, they canceled that. So that's what I'm saying. Embrace life and your friends and family for everything you can, and don't stop until you have no choice anymore. Back to things at hand. This is the strangest hobby in the world to me. There's a lot of weird people in this organism known as the horror and mask community. This living, breathing thing that has many parts to it. And the strange thing these days with social media is there's lots of eyes on you. There's lots of eyes, especially if you have a collection like this. Everyone's looking like, look at this, look at this guy. Now I put myself out more and more on Instagram and Facebook. It's like, more about the man behind the collection. And it brings people out of the woodwork that just doesn't make sense to me. It brings strange people out of the woodwork. One of my friends is one of the top mask makers in the world now, for sure. And he came to me recently. He goes, man, it's strange, but one of my friends or employees, says like, they think you're not for real. Like I'm a poser or something, And he's like, he's for real. Like, I've known him for a long time. And he goes, you ever see his bedroom in 1988? I mean, I've played videos of my bedroom in 1988 where it is wall-to-wall horror. And it's just so bizarre to me, the people that, like, they see, if that's another thing you learn in life. You get nice things, people want to shit on you, or they want to, you know, say, he's not real. Or so yeah, I'm like, did they not see my room in '88? I have photos of me standing in that room. I look like a complete dork, and I didn't post them. Like, I can show you that that was my bedroom. My brother will laugh at all this, but anyway, it's so weird. Like, what makes a person sit there and scratch their head and go, I think that guy's fake. Now, I've seen a lot of guys come and go in this hobby where they show up, they got money, and boom, they got a collection, and it's like, you know, I call it just add water collection. Like, just add money. Hey, I have a huge collection, you know. I've been in this for a long time. I've got, you know, and Halloween is what spawned all this as a child. Like, this is a lifelong thing. Just like cars. Cars are a lifelong thing for me. But it's so weird. I'm like, and not that it bothers me, I just think this is a very bizarre thing for people to come out of the woodwork and say, like, I'm not for real. I'm, you know, I'm like, why would I do this? I could go buy a Lamborghini right now if I empty this room out, you know? I don't need my kid tonight. We're driving home from the movie theaters, my daughter. And I go, look, Jeff's got a bunch of lights on his place. My friend down the road has like a crazy fleet of cars, Lambos. He's got twin turbo, R8 Audis. Everything is 1,000 to 4,000 horsepower. You know, underground racing cars, crazy shit. Yeah, that's Jeff's house. He's got all the crazy cars. And my kid goes, we can have more cars like that. We can have some exotic cars, but you like to have a basement full of rubber heads. I go, what are you talking about? I go, yeah, like, I like rubber heads, you know? She thinks I'm crazy. Just, it's funny how my kid looks at me like, what are you doing with all this? I mean, she likes the masks, but she thinks I'm way overboard. You know, like I'm nuts. Back to me and my horror life, my life of horror. Horror, not, you know, well. So, back to my life of horror. Yeah, my bedroom in 1988 was insane. I mean, I went to the video store in my mall. I was a jeweler forever. Like, I was in the diamond business forever. But at the end of our strip mall was the most amazing video store ever. And there was one across the street from the mall. So I got posters and standees, you know, every month, all the latest stuff. And that's why my room looked the way it did. So fast forward to like 1992 now. If you still don't think I've been in this for a long time, here are some old photos of me and my good friends, my buddy Don and my friend Ben. This is us at the 1992 Fangoria convention in Villa Park, Illinois at the Odeum, hanging out with Guar. Yep, that's me. My buddy Ben with the long black hair. He owns one of the top tattoo shops in all of Chicagoland, Deluxe Tattoo. He is the man. That's an old picture though, like way back in the day. We were so into Danzig and Sam Hain and the Misfits, you know, those are my metal buddies, and we were into going to Fangoria conventions in the early 90s. That was 92, that was actually 93 because 92, that was 92. When Scream Queens 3 trading cards came out, Brink Stevens was there. Look at that. To Rudy, love. She signed it, okay? She signed that for me in 93, okay? So, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys out there that think I'm a poser. He don't like horror. He's not into horror movies. Can't be. He don't look like it. I look like it there. I look like a freaking dork. But Yeah, that's Guar, 1993, Fangoria Convention. What is with you people? Like, get a life, you know? Get a life. Go start your own wonderful life, okay? If I can give you any advice in 2024, quit worrying about other people. And I'm not being worried about people right now. I'm like, this is like a little lesson, you know? Back in the day, I'd be so upset, like, oh, this person's talking about me. Like, now, learn to laugh it all off, okay? Tonight's episode, we are going to start off with a gift I received in the mail. A gift from a very special friend who is a very talented friend. Oh, yes. This is from Mr. Jeff Wehinkle. And those of you that know who Jeff Wehinkle is, he's a freaking legend, okay? Yes, Jeff, you're a legend. He sculpted the amazing Dr. Tongue prop over there for Death Studios back in the day, amongst lots of other things. But Jeff did the Shockwaves Nazi Zombie, the one I've had on the channel here. Not only did he sculpt it, but he painted that thing for me, haired it for me. He's a talented boy. And he's a tiki nut. This is cool. Oh my god, dude. Jeff was at Misc Fest, okay? And that's the first time I got to meet him in person. You're talking about a person that's been in this for a long time. So we're standing there in front of my booth. Remember my crazy booth setup I had? And he's looking at my Metaluna Mutant. I had one or two of them there on display. Old Don Post one. And he goes, I think I'm going to sculpt one of these when I get home, you know? I'm like, yeah, why not? I know he can do it. He's very talented. So he goes and sends me pictures of this sculpture. He whipped it out in like a week. I'm like, man, that would take me about 16 weeks to do what he did in 1 week, you know? And sculpted this amazing Metaluna Mutant. And I told him there was a rare paint scheme out there on a early 70s one that I don't have. And he goes, I'll make you one of mine painted up similar to that. And that's what's in here right now. So this, I gave Jeff all the measurements off the originals to, you know, kind of go off of when he did this. And it's really nice. I can't wait to see mine because mine's going to look different than the other ones, and I'll tell you why. Oh my god, check this out. Wow. Oh my god, Jeff. Look at that. Isn't that nice? That is nice, nice work. Holy crap, dude. I'll try to stuff that in there. Alright. Look at that. I'm going to move my famous Monsters of Filmland magazine. Check this out. Jeff, that is gorgeous. Man. And it's very close to the dimensions of the... I'm not talking Bill Malone mid-70s. I'm talking the mid-60s, like the 1966 green one. You know, that sculpt is what he based his measurements off of. And it's not... He wasn't looking to copy it. He just made his own version, which is very similar to those. Dude, that is nice, dude. Wow. Spectacular, you know. I love it. I love it. It's got words on the back. Metaluna Mutant Tribute. A non-post mask. A non-post mask. That is badass. Just when I needed another Metaluna Mutant in my life. So, in 71, so I'm a little cloudy right now because it's been one hell of a week. But there was a tricolor version with silver veins in the early 70s. And I don't have one here. And so that's why this one has the silver veining on it. I gave him pictures of one my friend has, and he based this paint up off of that. And I like it. I like that this isn't like super vibrant, like, you know, Technicolor looking a paint up. It's got darker tones to it, and it certainly looks more vintage like that. You know, that is amazing, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff Wienkel. I'm gonna put his Instagram I'll put his Instagram on the screen. Follow Jeff. Great guy. Super happy that I became friends with him. And wow, that is cool. Cool. I got another gift weeks ago that I actually debuted on the Christmas special, but I'm gonna pull it out again right now because there is no Christmas special anymore for now. And this one's by Mr. Casey Love. Okay, Casey Love. Look at that smiling face. This is Casey's Pumpkin Witch. Look at that crazy thing, huh? Casey has made different versions of this in like the past year or two. Some can be very high end, you know, up there in price, but he's knocking these out for like $225 on his website. I'll put a picture up there, and look at her. She's crazy looking. So, two wonderful masks by great friends of mine, good people, and what a way to start the year off in the mask hobby, but with great gifts like this. Casey, he told me, he goes, I'm gonna send you something. He goes, I love your videos. And he made her special. He put the little goo in her mouth. I don't think any of the other ones have that, but great sculpt, Casey. And yeah, you can get one of these for a couple $100 or so. And it's nice. It's got good thickness. You know, it's like a you know, old school, but better because it's thick as hell. You know, usually a lot of the 80s masks weren't super thick, but this one's nice and thick. Man, thank you, Casey. Pumpkin Witch, looking cool as hell. All right. What else? Let's put the Pumpkin Witch down here. Real quick, on that Christmas episode, I did score a couple of pieces that I should at least show you here. RZFX piece showed up, one I never had before. So this one was on eBay. Someone listed it and they go, hey, I know you're looking for his work. Boom, here's a nice one. Another friend of mine has two more pieces by him. I keep sending him all these messages like, will you sell them to me because you had them advertised for sale? And he just is so busy he doesn't see his damn messages. Besides that, picked up another amazing Nightmare Force piece by Jeff Wazzy, who I call Wizzy all the time on my channel for some strange reason. Just like this, you know, I mess up a lot of stuff on this channel, okay? My brain is just fried by the end of the night. Jeff Wazzy, look at this crazy thing. Look at this crazy bug-eyed freak with green hair. This is radical. Man, that is wicked. Yeah, I messed up the name of one of the Distortions masks like 2 or 3 times. Like, oh, here's the right name. No, I messed that up. I messed Josh's name up constantly. He don't care. We laughed about it. Gosh, what else is down here? Real Deal Santa from good old Fortress. Which brings us to my friend Mike Covert, you know, MC Studio. Mike has the original Caesar master for the duck mask from Fortress, and he's going to be producing them. So that is something to look forward to in 2024. I think he may be doing others in the film. I have to look at our messages, but those of you that love Fortress, that duck mask is next to impossible to find. But not anymore. So keep your eyes peeled for that. MC Studio. This is awesome. What are we going to talk about? What is this episode? on this cold January night going to be about? You know, it's like we always start off talking about something, it seems. And tonight I had to start off talking about just weird people out there who just can't take it that you have cool shit, I guess. He must be fake. Like when I started this channel, there's a little squeaky wheel in the hobby who's running around going, why does he gotta do videos on his rich friend's house and his rich friend's stuff? Why does he gotta show his rich friend's cars? And I go, tell that little crybaby my rich friend told me to do that. He goes, why don't you fly down here and do a video on my place? You know, because he knows it's over the top. I go, done. In fact, I'm flying there again next week. So it's like, if I do something, there's a reason I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for attention. Like, oh, look how cool my friends are. No. I want some clicks. I want some likes. Why not? All right. Let's see. So there's a lot of empty spaces around here because a ton of masks went all the way to California for foam filling. Yes. Really wicked pieces went to my buddy to get foam filled, and a couple of them are done, but I'm assuming, I think in a few days I'll be getting boxes back in the mail, and we're going to do some videos on the newly foamed pieces because they are important pieces. Universal Monsters, really rare distortions pieces, and they should be looking a lot different than they were sitting on the shelves behind me. All right, now what? So what do these guys have in common? Other than, yes, they were Franks, and you have seen these before on the channel, remember? I've talked about these in detail, probably. At least I did with this incredible Wolfman. The story goes, Frank purchased this Wolfman along with his cousin Erie at the 1975 Famous Monsters Convention in New York City. Right off the Captain and Company table. 1975. Okay? Star Wars wasn't even out yet. I was 3 years old. That is, to me, insane. And Frank carried them home in one of the red convention bags that's still here on the train. He carried this Wolfman along with that cousin Erie on his train ride home. And all this ties into cool photographs that we're going to look at tonight. And here is a photograph of this mask along with the B Garrett Theta I've got of Frank's that is crazy customized. That's being foam filled right now, so that's not here. This is crazy because I know where every one of these masks in this photo is right now. Look at this. This is so cool. This is Frank's dresser, and I'm going to say this is 1975. Let's see, there's a Be Something Studio Diane. There's a Be Something Studio Quasimodo. When did Diane come out? Late 70s. I have to look up when Diane came out. But a lot of the masks in this photo are like that 77, 78 time period. So this is no doubt Frank snapped this little photo. And this is that mask sitting right. Both of these are in this picture right here. It's crazy. I located tons of amazing pictures of Frank's the last time I was there. There was a big box under his bed we found, and it's just incredible. The old photos in there of mask collections of very important people that you guys, a lot of you do know. I found more old photos of David Lady's collection. Dante's collection. Photos, I don't even know whose stuff it is, you know, like crazy pictures. Some are labeled on the back, some are not. So I'm going to kind of give you a little taste tonight on what the heck is in some of these pictures, because it's incredible. And what I love the most is finding old pictures of something that's sitting in this room. You know, to me, that is one of the coolest things about this hobby. Yes, this guy's so this guy's getting ready for some restoration work. This good old mummy, 5000 BC. These are so rare, and every time I go back to Frank's, this one's looking worse and worse and worse every year. His eyes are drooping, his mouth, but he's still intact. So this guy, he and I have a date by the fireplace this week. He's on, you guessed it, a styrofoam head that will not come out. Won't come out. So I need to sit there with one of the most brittle masks in the whole room, hoping I don't break it up, removing that freaking thing, okay? But back to these photos. Look at that. So that is an old picture, probably from the day, or at least the weeks Frank first got that amazing Steve Johnson piece. You know that dude, that little distortions puppet up there. There he is, brand new. Get out of there! Shh! Hey! Get! Ah! Fucking cats. Goes behind the whole row of masks back here like an idiot. Here's a cool one. That is all of the Screamin' models and Billiken models I brought home and did the video on, remember? Look at that. That is so cool. So that's Frank's old coffee table in their living room. I've been in that room. I know exactly 100% that that's their old picture of their living room. But man, that's all the models that are sitting out there on top of my glass case right now. Probably, you know, right after they were painted up for Frank by one of his painters up in New York. He had these model painters that would do pro paint ups for him. Every single model he would ship out, have it pro painted, sent back to his collection. Cool old image of Kathy Tharp. It says Kathy with her latest masterwork, The Wicked Witch of the West. Yeah, Kathy did a great sculpt on the Wicked Witch. So cool. It's an old picture of Kathy Tharp with her creation right there. Isn't that neat? I don't know what year that was. I'd have to ask friends of mine what year she sculpted that piece. But when I hold these up, I'm going to show you better images on the screen. Eventually, I'm going to scan every photo in that box, which there's hundreds of them. Scan them, probably watermark them, and somehow get them online so you guys can enjoy this stuff, because it's all a part of this history, you know? Look at that. A legit late 80s Polaroid. This is probably 1987-ish. Kathy, that's the she creature that I did the video on recently. Okay. This is an old Polaroid. I'm assuming Kathy sent this to Frank, like, here's the progress on your she creature. She would do that. There was no email. You know, you couldn't email Frank pictures. So there is a Polaroid for you, Frank. Your mask. It's almost done. This is so, so cool. There are pictures in here that blow my mind. Aha. You guys recognize this girl here? What is she, the Space Queen? Space Queen? Something like that. Yeah. The old Jordu shell. We just did a video on her and the other Jordu pieces, but that is an old Polaroid. I'm guessing probably 1988, 87. There's another old image of her there. Isn't that cool? With other very rare masks behind her. Oh my God. And of course, one of my favorite Polaroids I found so far, Paul Clemens Regan, brand spanking new. Look at that. And this was dated 1988, 11/88. It says keep. So yeah, a little taste of things that I've been uncovering in Frank's stuff. These wonderful photos. Here's a neat photo from Dante. My good buddy Dante sent this to Frank. I'm guessing in the late 80s. Yeah, there's a Nosferatu set like you would find in the clear acrylic box. So here's the image. Here's the photograph. Okay? There's words on the back, okay? So this says, "Dear Frank, was able to foam your Peter Cushing mask at no charge since I pooled it with a number of others." That's how long Dante has been doing this shit, man. This is from the late 80s. Mid to late 80s, this photograph. Okay, he's foamed a few masks in his time. Okay, "I pooled it with the number of others during the latest foam run. I'll consider hair application if you'll supply me with good reference stills and at least one color shot. Yours appears. Oh, your mask appears in this photo with unhaired copies of Lugosi, Hitchcock, Asa, and a finished Nosferatu. Send a pic of." Oh, I'm not saying what that is. Oh, no. I'm not saying that word at all. But isn't that neat? That's so neat. Sorry, Brink. Cool stuff. Look at this picture. This picture rules, man. This picture. Let me get up here. Hold on. Let me pick the camera up. Look at that. Can you see that? Do you see the Jordu werewolf in the background? That's the one sitting right there. Right there. That is crazy. So this was probably taken around 87 or 88. I can't remember the year that wolf was made. That is absolutely 100% the same one. I could tell by the blood. Isn't that neat? I mean, that picture's incredible. Oh, there she is. But loads of vintage photos like this were found. And in time, so I'm hoping to start doing some work on this Mummy 5000. Maybe tomorrow night I'll start messing with him and warming him up just to get that old foam head out of him. Luckily, the head was painted black with thick paint. Still, that mask is hardened, but it's slow, it bends real, you know. It's pliable to an extent. That's all I'm going to say. But man, look at that. That's the old werewolf on the far left. That werewolf is sitting right there. And had these horrible eyes drawn on like paper behind the eye sockets. It's so funny. But that mask, Frank brought that thing home in 1975. That is just incredible to me. Here we go. That's the old she creature. Keep in mind her one antenna. You know, she needs to be foamed. And over time, I mean, you're looking at a Polaroid, number one. So, of course, the colors are going to look off. But that is no doubt Frank's she creature. Oh yeah, you can tell by the dark spots up in here, you know, they match up to this old photo. This is just so cool to find things like that. So I thought you guys would enjoy this tonight, just seeing some of these old pictures of things that some are in this room, some are long gone. You know, there's things in this photo I'm dying to know where they ended up, but we may never know. Look on the far right there. You see on the far right, the little green mask sticking out? The swamp, the swamp creature, the old Jordu. That's the original Jordu shell piece. There he is, peeking out around the corner there. Amazing. And there's, she's in the background. So, looking at these three masks, these are, let me see if I can light them up a bit. Is that any better? These are very, 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 very rare. Starting on the left, we've talked about these, you know, on the channel, but I'm not sure how in depth I got. This is one of the plastic bag masks from Frank's shelves in that bedroom. This is a legit 80s casting pulled from the 1960s calendar mold. That is straight out of the rare Don Post 1960s calendar mold, which is no longer in existence to my knowledge. At least it's been retired, and it could be in a private collection, who knows. But so this is a very special piece. It's brittle. Okay, hear that? Brittle. That piece is stuck on a styrofoam head right now. Next to it, the rare and very elusive 1977 Mummy 5000 BC. I'd say 90% of these masks are no longer on the planet. They've all busted to pieces, they've all melted, they've all just did not hold up well. This one is completely intact, which is absolutely incredible. Hardened, yes, hardened just like all the others, but this one survived. This one is on a styrofoam head that cannot be pulled out. Both of these are. The really rare 1100 line Wolfman by Don Post. So rare, I think maybe 2 or 3 copies are known of this mask. This probably being one of the finest ones to ever surface. It was on a styrofoam head. He's hard as a rock, but I've been manipulating his shape with heat. I was able to remove the styrofoam head carefully. But I'm here to tell you, styrofoam heads are horrible. And like I keep saying, if you don't want to believe they, you know, create problems with drying masks out, some masks over a span of 40 plus years will dry out and be ruined by them. If you don't believe that, and I've shown you example after example after example, believe that they get stuck in these masks and you can't get them out without high risk of damaging these rare pieces like this. So let me put the tripod down. I'm going to carefully lay these babies down. These are so delicate. You know, that Mummy 5000, he's a little pliable still. As you can see, the styro heads are stuck inside of them, you know. And they barely move, so that means they could be stuck to the tops of the masks as well. I know I don't shut up about this subject, but it's something I will point out every single time when there's an example like this. That's not what this little clip is about, though. This clip is about wanting to help preserve all 3 of these and restore them. They don't need extensive restoration work. What I mean is get them off the heads. 2 of them are done, or 1 of them's done off the head, 2 are not. I want to get them off the heads. I want to then fix the shape, especially the bottoms. The bottoms of these, the bottoms are mushrooming because they sit on a shelf and just, you know, start melting over time. I'm going to heat these up, manipulate the shape, get the bottom straightened out, and then get out of here. You're pathetic. You know that? Get your big ass out of here. Especially this 1100 line Wolfman. As you can see here, see how flat and it's mushroomed out. So I want to fix that. And then all three of these rare all three of these rare masks from the 70s are going to be foam filled. I'm probably going to I may fill these myself. I got the materials to do it, and these are the types of masks I can work on by myself, okay? Mainly because they're already hard, and I don't have to worry about ruining the shape of them, with foaming them. All I gotta worry about is sealing them properly so nothing oozes out. So in time, we were probably gonna do some foam filling videos on some masks, okay? And I'll show you what I do. Guys ask me constantly, like, what do I do? How do I do it? I'll show you what I do, and I'm not gonna tell you that's how it's done, but at least you'll get some ideas on the way I do it, and maybe it'll help you. Yes, that picture. Yes, the masks you see in that image are these two right here. And that was probably taken, I'm assuming Dante took that photo around 1984. Okay, I'm guessing 84 because that is the Fantasy Faces Unlimited heavy metal. That's not the Distortions one that came later in 83. That's that 1981 Fantasy Faces incredible prototype. The #1 master pull right here. That's the same one in the photo. And this creature, this underwater creature, these two masks kind of have a little thing in common here, believe it or not. Even though they're completely opposite creatures, they have one thing in common. #1, Rick Stratton created this one. If you watch this channel, you know the story behind this. This is not the Ed Edmonds 1983 version. This is the original, real deal by Stratton. The one on your left now, my right, your left. This underwater creature, to my knowledge, originated from a movie mold, from a Universal mold, in the early 80s. It's a casting that came out of the mold, and by the looks of it, at that time, the mold was really getting worn out. So it doesn't have super crisp details, but the cool thing is this absolutely was pulled from the old mold. And Rick Stratton painted this one. And my friend that actually had this casting in the 80s and had Rick painted in the 80s, he and Rick even agreed, like, it's not my greatest paint job. He just did a quickie for my buddy. But this is a legit Rick Stratton painted creature, underwater creature, that I believe came from the old Universal mold. So this is pretty wild. This is way before the 98 reissues came out. They didn't exist, okay? So this is an old, creature. This came from Frank's collection. Both of these are from Frank's collection. This is one of the plastic bag masks, I call them. Remember the two shelves with all the dusty plastic bags? This was one of the creatures in that room. And I just got it back from being foam filled, and I had to show you these two masks because I found that incredible old photograph in Frank's belongings, and that's these two masks sitting right there. I would say probably right around 1984, maybe 85. I don't know the exact year Frank acquired these from Dante, but it was right around that time.